Welcome to Uplift, inspiring stories to uplift the world. I am Gemma Serenity Gorokhoff, your host, and today we have the honor of having Dominika Staniewicz, also known as Coach D. For those who cannot say your last name, I'm sorry about that.
You did fantastic. Don't absolutely worry about it. You did absolutely great.
Thank you. So, Dominika, thank you so much for being here today. Tell us a little bit about your amazing journey.
Oh wow. Well, my journey, as everybody else's, is amazing, and I hope it can be inspiring. So today I come to you as a human who has went through hell and back from your previous podcasts. Even hell has a border. Keep walking. That was definitely me. And I'm on the other side of hell. I'm on the place where you create things and you support others because you've already went through it and you have ideas and you have tools to share with the world so it can be a better place. I am a mom of two amazing ladies that are twins and they're 23 and at a university. They're doing great. I am a cat mom of this wonderful gentleman called Stripes who let's just say keeps me busy. I'm also a brain coach and an elite neurocoding specialist, 1 star right now at the Neurocoding Institute. So I work with your brain and I work with your emotions that are created by your brain and how your brain works. And we rewire your brain to the best behavior that you can have, to the best habits you can have. And it's a little bit more, actually, much more than life coaching because we do take care, we look at your blood work and other things. But today, I want to talk to you because, we're down the line. It's January, and I bet all of you, because I have, so I know you have to, have set goals. And you were like, this year's going to be different. I'm going to make things happen. Everything is going to be just amazing. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And the whole list of things. And you started with this power and belief. And how many times have you done that?
Oops, sorry, busted.
Yeah, yeah, everybody has been. And that's basically what I want to talk about because it's a perfect moment to reset. I know you came with the knowledge you had and you did the best you could. Every time you do it, you really believe you're going to do it. And very often it turns out that by the end of January, you're either out of fuel or you feel that you took too much or your old habits kick in. And that is so, so true for all of us. I mean, unless you're a person that, has done it and every time achieved everything you had in your New Year's resolution and did it perfectly, please let me know the secret because I want to learn from you. And you're then way smarter than I am. But for those who have not found a formula, I think I have a solution. And I want to tell you a story of how I came to that realization. See, when we go outside to those amazing trainers, speakers, and people that we learn from, and don't get me wrong, they're absolutely phenomenal, they're changing the world, like Les Brown, Jay Shetty, Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Dr. Amen, all of those people are absolutely wonderful. And 99.9% of them preach that you got to burn your boats, setting a standard. You go and you just power through and you can do it and you take massive action. And anytime I would hear massive action, I would literally withdraw because my brain would go, that's not achievable for me. Then I'm not going to do it. Why am I going to waste my time and do things that are too difficult? See, we say, shoot for the stars, you get to the moon. Well, my brain went, you're not going to a moon. That's too far away. You can't do it. So I'm like, okay, well, I still want the stars and I want to dream big and the stars are awesome. But if I'm not doing the moon, how the heck am I going to get there? So I went to my brain and had a chat with myself. I'm like, how about we shoot for the stratosphere? Well, that's going to be hard, but maybe you can do it. So I shot for the stratosphere. And from the stratosphere, I saw the moon, that is pretty close. And because I already achieved this step, I went, maybe we can try next time for the moon. And when I got to the moon, the next time I tried, I saw that the stars are just one step away. So what I'm proposing is setting goals that are a little bit challenging, but are not overwhelming. Goals that you can create an action plan for. And don't go into, 55,000 goals, because your brain is designed to optimize and use as little energy as possible, which means it will want to revert back to your old habits because that's automatic and it's easier for it. It doesn't like to be exhausted. So that's how we dream big. We still think of the stars, of true love, of, becoming a successful mother or an entrepreneur. And that's another thing. What is success for you? Because your definition of success is definitely not my definition of success. I have found that a lot of people take on what society tells you that success is. You have to have a $5 million house, and you need to have a husband, 2 children, and something else. And you're like sitting, that doesn't seem like fun. This doesn't make me happy. See, the truth is that before you set your goals, you need to know what makes you happy. And have you ever asked yourself that question? If you haven't, I truly invite you to asking yourself, what makes me happy? And how can I build my success around that? And guess what? That definition can change. Because what makes us happy at 20 most likely is not going to make us happy at 40 or 50 or 30. And with that being said, that's our first step. Then we need to look at, and I'm like, okay, so this is what makes me happy. This is what I want to do. And then you have those people that you look at and go, oh my God, they're so amazing. The thing is that we look at them at the moment in time when they're already there. We're not looking at them when they're starting out, like us with our dream. We're looking at them years and years in front of us, and we go, oh, I want to achieve that. And you're like, well, it's impossible. So why don't you go back? Why don't you go back and see where they started? Because they did not start with $50 billion in their bank account. None of us did, unless, we have great parents that were extremely rich. Then cheers to you. I'm a firewalker, so there we go. So that's another step. And then there's this idea of 2 millimeter shifts. And I'm a huge fan. And I did actually my research on this. And I was like, okay, so they say that if you do not correct the flight by 2 millimeters, you'll end up in a different place. So your destination will not be the one. Self-correct, right? Because winds blow, earth turns, I'm like, 2 millimeters, there's no way this can make a difference. Well, if you think about flight from Honolulu to New York, it will not. You'll still end up in New York. But if you want to fly from Honolulu to Australia, you'll end up in Philippines if you do not self-correct. And that is the idea. See, we're trying to be in a sprint. Life is a marathon. So why don't we take those 2 millimeter shifts and just do small changes, because they stack up and they're so easy. Our brain goes, oh, I can do that. Let's say you're a salesperson and they tell you need to make 50 phone calls a day. And after, 2 or 3 months, you're burned out and like, I cannot look at the phone. Phone is absolutely disgusting. When we keep doing something over and over, that's fine. Take a break, take a deep breath, and make 2 phone calls a day, but make them with passion, enthusiasm, and joy. And when that becomes okay and normal and comfortable, make 3 phone calls. Compared to not doing anything, you're so much further ahead. And the truth is that if somebody picks up the phone and go, hi, my name is Dominika, I have this exciting offer for you, I don't think anybody's going to really want to work with you. And if you make 3 phone calls a day, hi, how are you? It's a beautiful day. I hope your day is so amazing. Look, I know you're busy, but would you give me 3 minutes of your time? I just really, really want to share something with you. Even if they don't, they probably will give you that time, even if they don't have it. So 2 millimeter shifts is the idea of creating your life based on small changes that add up, and you get to celebrate. Oh, celebrate the living heck out of it. And this is, if you're a woman, I want you to learn from men. Okay. Men are amazing at celebration. And I want you to take that principle and put it and use it every freaking day, because we don't do that. And actually, outside of that one event, men don't do that either. What is that? Well, watching sports games. When they're watching their sports game, their team, the guy moves 2 millimeters. Oh, yeah, awesome, fantastic. They passed the ball and then they lost it. Oh, God, you got the ball. You're so great. They don't sit there and watch the game going, I'm not celebrating until they win. They got to do more. No, not enough. You passed the ball. That's not good enough. No, you got to do more. No, they celebrate every tiny thing. Now imagine if you would transfer that idea into your life and celebrate every tiny thing you do. How much more fun would it be to achieve your goals? And at the end of the road, you really wouldn't care about the result. Because guess what? If their team loses at the end of the day, they still say it was a great game. They come back and watch them again. Now, some of them might get upset, go, oh my God, that was horrible. We lost, and, get angry. Yet most of them come back and do it again with the same team that lost. And there's a third principle on the New Year's revolution and evolution and setting goals that is so, so important. It is not feeling bad if you don't have a why that makes you cry, because most people don't. And most people do not have a reason to get up at 4 a.m. and do everything just to get that going. We don't. That is something that I have found with all my clients. Unless you had severe trauma, like, not that somebody was mean to you, not that you had fights with your husband, severe trauma, you usually don't have a why that makes you cry. What you do have, or you might get, is a slow burning, steady flame. That is a very big difference, because people who go through traumatic experiences and are super hungry, and that's what we all talk about. You got to be hungry. You got to want it more. Well, that hunger comes from lack. What if you were never raised and you didn't have experience of severe lack, emotional love, money, or, family? What if you had a pretty good normal life? You will not have a why that makes you cry, most likely. But what you will have, you'll have steady and good ground and a dream. But that dream will present itself differently, and you'll act upon it differently, because there's no hunger, because there's no reason for the hunger to be there. It hasn't been created. But you still want to have success. You still want to have a great family. It will present itself differently. And that's where this comes in. The magic of dreaming big, acting small, and achieving success. This is for all the people that have dreams and they don't have a why that makes them cry. This is for all those people that get overwhelmed very quickly and they stop doing anything because it's too difficult. And their brain just goes, no, we're conserving energy. You're not doing this. We're not doing this, right? This book talks about the methods I told you about. This book talks about how to create an amazing life without overwhelm. How to create an amazing life if you don't have a why that makes you cry. And that it is okay to have dreams, and it is okay to dream big, and it's okay to do it slowly. It is okay to do it step by step. It is okay. You don't have to quit your job immediately. You don't have to get out of the relation immediately unless you're, being hurt or somebody's threatening your life. That's a different story. But if you had a regular life, those speeches, burn your boats and everything else, that is phenomenal for a lot of people, do not resonate. And if they do, they resonate temporarily because you have very good base. I written this book because this book was for me when I was there and I didn't know that's how I function. This book is for people who are not ready for revolution, but they want an evolution. This book is also for people who want to set goals differently and want to have a better life. And I found that most of my clients are like that. That unless, there was, again, huge trauma in their life, most of them are not looking to do a revolution. And I am so happy because it's easy read. It's 63 pages, simple, with exercises and stories. And it also shows my story, because when I was writing this book, it just flew out of me. And I'm like, okay, so how many pages does it have to be for it to be successful? So guess what I did? I went to the internet, and internet told me that at least 30,000 pages. And I'm like, well, 30,000 words. And I'm like, that means I'm useless because mine's only 10,000. Well, no, I shouldn't do this then. That's not enough. And I don't have anything more to say because I gave the value that I wanted. So yeah, that's not going to work. I'm just going to put it aside. And then I stopped myself like, okay, so that's the average of, self-help book or a book with suggestions. And that's the average. And so do you believe it's valuable? Yes. Did the beta readers find it valuable? Yes. Do you think this can help people? Yes. So who cares that the average book has 30,000 words? We're going to publish it. So we have now a book of 63 pages, not 150 pages, that brings concise and precise value. At the end of the day, I'm Eastern European. I like precision. I like clear and to the point with a general story. I don't like a lot of fluff. So I'm sure there are people out there like me that just want the gist, that they want the story, and then they want the exercise. And the truth is that if you do this properly, it will take you a month to read those 63 stories because there are enough of exercises for 30 days. And you get to download worksheets, you get to download meditations with QR codes that are in the book. So there are a lot of things and tools in just 63 pages, yet it's not a brochure. It is a book. And it's something you can take with you and remind yourself over and over in case you fall off the wagon. Who has fallen off the wagon? I have, like multiple times. Why? Because we're human and that's okay. And we go, okay, well, let's get back on the horse. I mean, it didn't kick me really. I just fell off. I have a few bruises. And looking from up high is much more fun than looking up at the horse who's freaking huge. Anyway, I'm just digressing. With that being said, that is exactly what I think is the biggest value, because you're at day 30 more or less of January at your goals. All of us are. And how many of you already given up on your dreams or said this is not doable or reverted back to your old habits? At least 50% of people who are listening will be nodding their head.
Dominika, I'm thrilled to have you here to tell your story and to tell how that book came to be and to lead us through that moment of the year. It's like, okay, you got it and you understood enough of it to help others on their journey. And for that, I am so happy and grateful that you came back on our second show to tell us these essential lessons of life. And thank you for writing a short book because it's easy and short to read. Actually, I got it. 30 days to actually go through all the exercise, which is enough to rewire our brain. Oh, magic, magic. You know that really works. Dominika, we have all the details in the description of this episode. Do you have one website you want to share with the audience, making sure we find you?
Absolutely. It's www.yourbraincoachd.com.
Yourbraincoachd.com. All right, let's go there right now. Thank you, Dominika. You're such a blessing.
Gemma, it was a pleasure. And I hope I brought to you and everybody else some value so you can actually have the life you want without the overwhelm.
Thank you. Yes, you did.